Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. Let's start exploring. Let's start learning. This is your very own educator, teacher, philosopher, guide, mentor, preacher, guru, one and all. And this is the one-stop destination that is English Curricle, wherein we all learn together, grow together, bloom together, and blossom together. All right, so having said that, let's start off and let's dive deep into the recesses and let's start learning. All right, with your very own educator, Sukriti Joshi, ma'am. All right, so in today's session, I'll be basically covering UGC Net, important topics that are actually there and that you should be aware about. And this is UGC Net for English literature. So all the English learners out there, you can watch this video and you will gain a lot. So I'm gonna be discussing about the authors today, right? So first and foremost, we are gonna have a look at the Renaissance and early modern writers. So we get to see when we talk about the Renaissance period, first and foremost, what does it mean? It basically means that it is a rebirth. Rebirth of what? Rebirth of knowledge. So it's actually, we can say it's actually a revival of knowledge, right? So under this, we have authors, we have writers such as William Shakespeare, we have the tragedies, we have the comedies, and we have the sonnets. So we do get to see the three aspects that of tragedies, comedies, and of sonnets, right? So and then we get to see John Milton, right? Christopher Marlowe and John Donne. So John Milton and John Donne, you can remember it like that because John is there. So there's no difficulty in remembering that. John Milton, John Donne, Christopher Marlowe, and William Shakespeare, right? All right. So they come under Renaissance and early modern period, right? Then we have the neoclassical and romantic. So herein we are talking about the Alexander Pope. So herein we do have authors like Alexander Pope, like Jonathan Swift. So Alexander Pope, Jonathan Swift. You remember Gulliver's Travels, right? So it's written by Jonathan Swift, right? William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth. Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Whenever we talk about Wordsworth, you should know that Samuel Taylor Coleridge would also be connected with him. So both of them, they have some kind of connection or the other, so they're included in the uh same play, like same. They're included in the same order, right? So then we have John Keats, Wordsworth, Keats, romantic poets, right? So neoclassical and romantic. So we talk about William Wordsworth, John Keats, Percy Bysshe Shelley, right? So Percy Bysshe Shelley, John Keats, and who? Keats, right? Wordsworth, Keats, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, who would come? We get to see William Wordsworth, Jonathan Swift, and Alexander Pope, right? Then we have Victorian. So we have Charles Dickens, we have George Eliot. So we have Charles Dickens. Whenever we talk about Victorian periods, such as Charles Dickens' Hard Times. So Victorian, right? Charles Dickens, George Eliot. Now, George Eliot. We are talking about George Eliot. We are not talking about T.S. Eliot. So don't get confused between the names as well. So George Eliot, Alfred Lord Tennyson, and Thomas Hardy, right? Thomas Hardy, you can remember it like Charles Dickens had written Hard Times, so Thomas Hardy is also a writer who is included in the Victorian age, right? So Charles Dickens, George Eliot, Alfred Lord Tennyson, and Thomas Hardy, right? Then we come on to the modern and postmodern. So herein we have T.S. Eliot, right? Now T.S. Eliot would come. T.S. Eliot, Virginia Woolf, W.B. Yeats, James Joyce, and Samuel Beckett. So Samuel Beckett, Waiting for Godot, right? James Joyce, W.B. Yeats, Virginia Woolf, T.S. Eliot, right? Then we have Indian writing in English, IWE, right? So we have novelists like R.K. Narayanji, right? Uh, who had written The Guide, Raja Rao. Raja Rao ji had written um uh, uh, Kanthapura, right? Kanthapura. So we have R.K. Narayanji, who had written The Guide. We have uh, we have Raja Rao, who had written Kanthapura. Mulk Raj Anandji, who had written Untouchable. So Mulk Raj Anandji, Raja Rao, Mulk Raj Anandji, right? Untouchable, right? Then we have Salman Rushdie, who had written Midnight's Children. Then we do have Amitav Ghosh, who had written, who was again very famous in Indian writing in Indian writing of in Indian writing in English, right? IWS, right? So then we have poets. So right now I have spoken about the novelists. Now I'm gonna be talking about the poets. Now, so we have Nizam Ezekiel, right? A.K. Ramanujan and Kamala Das, right? Kamala Das, that you all have studied in your school at your skill level in CBSE board. So you get to see that how Kamala Das uh, was a poet, right? And our A.K. Ramanujan was a poet, A.K. Ramanujan, right? And Nizam Ezekiel, right? Again, most of you or some of you might have uh, must have read about the poem, right? Uh, in CBSE by Nizam Ezekiel, and in your master's level, at your master's level, in your graduation, you might have come across a lot of poems, a lot of novels, right? Then we come on to American and other literatures. So I'll be talking about American authors such as Walt Whitman. So we get to see Walt Whitman. Oh, I love him. Then we have Edgar Allan Poe, Herman Melville, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Toni Morrison, and Sylvia Plath, right? So these are the American authors. Who all? Walt Whitman, Edgar Allan Poe, Herman Melville, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Toni Morrison, and Sylvia Plath, right? Then we have post-colonial world writers such as Shinya Achebe, who had written Things Fall Apart. Then we have Margaret Atwood. So we do have Margaret Atwood as well, right? And then we have Shinya Achebe, Margaret Atwood, and V.S. Naipaul. They were the post-colonial world writers. Shinya Achebe, I'm forgetting, V.S. Naipaul, and Margaret Atwood, right? Yes. Then we have literary theory and criticism. So herein, basically, we get to see that how you have to understand major concepts like and it's very important and it's vital, and focus on theorists like Edward Said, so who actually, when we talk about Orientalism, so it's actually a Western concept. So Roland Barthes, Jacques Derrida, Michael Foucault, and Gayatri Spivak. So we get to see the the so we get to see the names over here of Edward Said, who had given the concept of Orientalism, right? So yeah, all right. So Edward Said, Roland Barthes, Jacques Derrida, Michael Foucault, Gayatri Spivak. Now, what you are supposed to do, I'll just let you know. You are basically supposed to solve PYQs, that is previous year questions. And I think doing that and having good, developing a good strategy would definitely help you out. And would definitely help you out, guys. And therefore, you should develop a good strategy for you to remember and to recollect the names of the writers, the chronology part, uh, the name of their books, the publishing year of their books, of their works, of their poems, of their prose, of their drama, uh, of the literature, basically, of the pieces of the works, of the works of art that they have produced. And yeah, and by doing self study, you can actually, I think, you can achieve a lot. Yeah, so that's it. So this is Sukriti Joshi, ma'am, signing off. I hope you liked my video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. This is Sukriti Joshi, ma'am, signing off. Till then, stay tuned to my channel and hit the notification bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload any sort of video, right?